What's up, guys? I am about to compete, and I wanted to talk about what feelings were sort of going through me about half an hour before I'm supposed to step foot on the mat. This is my first competition, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't, nervous. I didn't have scared feelings that keep sort of popping up in my head about various different things that I'll get into, but I feel like I'm ready. The fear isn't coming from a place of not feeling ready to do this. The fear is coming from more of like a social fear of what happens if I look really stupid when I'm out there, or what happens if I don't impress the professor with my knowledge. Like a 3-stripe white belt is gonna impress a 9th degree black belt, Like it's so, as I talk about it out loud, it makes less and less sense to me, but it makes more sense that my mind would go to these kind of places in my first competition, in the preparation for my first competition. So I wanted to talk about some of the feelings that I have and some of the things I've been doing in the last couple of weeks leading up to this. It's funny, when the team reached out and said, "Do you want to compete in the in-house tournament?" I instantly said yes. I didn't think about it at all. I just said 100%. And as soon as I sent yes on my phone, I instantly regretted it. I was like, what did I just do? I am not ready for this. And it's coincidentally the same day as belt and stripe promotions here too. So my theory was, if I sign up, that'll show everybody in the team that I'm more committed, and maybe that would land me a faster stripe or a faster colored belt. And at the end of the day, none of that matters, because in the last couple of weeks in preparation for this tournament, full disclosure, up until recently, I didn't even know the point system. I still kind of don't even really know the point system rules, and I know the basics that equate points, but I'm a total novice at this. It's kind of fun going in being a novice and not knowing, because I'm excited to put my body and my soul through something really uncomfortable. If anybody's watching this that's been training and you're on the fence about competing, like I was, like I still am, talk to me when the competition's over and I'll let you know how I feel, right? If anyone's on the fence, my recommendation would be to try it if it feels right for you, if you're curious about it, because no one's judging you the way you think they are. Professor doesn't care if you win or lose. I think he cares that you show up. And if, I was talking to one of the blue belt women at our academy recently, and she competes all the time, and she said, every time I compete, I always regret signing up until the second that I step foot on the mat. And then I feel excited to do it. But up until that moment, I'm always nervous. And she said, if you lose in your first competition and you compete again, and you don't lose that same way, then you've won. And it took me a minute to really understand what she meant by that, but it's so true. You're gonna make mistakes. I know a lot of people that lost in their first competition, and they're incredible at what they do. And I think for me, I never thought I would even do this art to begin with. So that's why I look at today as a win, whether I win or lose. I am looking forward to just seeing what I'm capable of and knowing that I'm capable of doing something that 6 years ago when I lived in the Northeast, I tell you, I never would have dreamt of this. So some of the things I've been doing leading up to this is I've been training really, really, really hard over the last couple of weeks and trying to go to as many classes as I can. Tuesdays are just sparring before the actual class. So an hour of sparring, which is very intense, and then a full class afterwards. So I've been trying to do those every Tuesday. No gi, so I could learn different techniques, and that will apply to both no gi and gi. And, just looking at this as a fun experience to put myself through, where I didn't think I was capable of it. And even when I would be on the mat and hear about other people competing and winning, and everybody was applauding that they competed over the weekend or did something, I always thought it wasn't for me. The fact that this is happening in the first place is a win. I really don't care if I win or lose, because I know that I'm going to be confident regardless. I'm going in with the plan. My plan, I'll tell you, the plan is to pull guard quickly. Do not go for a double leg, because I don't feel confident in my double legs at all. I feel like I would probably get guillotined, and I don't want to get guillotined within seconds. I've had that happen to me before, and it's really upsetting. So my plan is to pull guard, bait a scissor sweep, and when I bait the scissor sweep, to stretch him out and to try to get over the opposite arm and bite for a triangle. That is my plan. And if it works, I'll let you know if it works out that way. But that's my plan going in. And I have to be honest with you, I don't think I've felt this excited and like jittery in quite some time. I think it's a really exciting feeling that my body is going through right now. My hands are kind of like cold and sweaty. My stomach has butterflies in it. I keep thinking of like almost like envisioning what it's gonna feel like to be on the mat. I wanna get really stretched properly beforehand, because that's the other thing. When you roll in class, you're usually really stretched and warm, but when you go into a competition, you haven't really done anything. So you have to make sure you really take your warm up seriously so you don't hurt something, you don't feel a lack of confidence. The other thing that somebody told me about was make your opponent believe they're stronger than you. So I really like that. I've had a lot of success with that in my white belt rolls, if you will, where I'm going with somebody and they're really trying as hard as they can, and I can feel it, and I have good grips, and I have a good guard, and I have a good base, and let them try, let them gas out, let them make a mistake. That's kind of like 101, but for me, it really helps in rolling with just about anybody. I've also gotten to the point where I can feel a little more confident in my bait, which means I can go for a move, and I know they're gonna go for a move and try to retaliate, and then I can capitalize off of what I believe they're gonna do. Little things like this going in, I think going in with a plan is important. And like I said before, I'll let you know how it all goes. Whether I get a stripe or not, whether I'm white belt for the next 10 years, I think showing up every day and putting your body and soul through something that you never thought you were capable of doing, and showing yourself that you are, is the only way to grow. And I've talked about that before with discomfort being a good thing. This discomfort that I'm feeling right now is a good thing. Full disclosure, I used to feel this way all the time. I used to walk around anxious all the time, sweating, cold hands, eye twitching, racing mind. And that was my baseline. I never really knew what it felt like to be relaxed. And since I've been doing this art for the last 2 years, I feel relaxed and confident all the time. And today was the first time, kind of leading up to today in the last couple of days, that anxiety crept back in. And it's like a healthy reminder, okay, this is a time where you can see what you're made of and show yourself that you're on the right track. Because if we wake up every day feeling soft and like everything is perfect, where's the growth in that? Where's the fun in overcoming adversity? So I'm excited. I'll let you guys know how it goes. I'll definitely post the follow-up. Anybody that believes that they can't do something, I promise you can, because as cheesy as it sounds, if I was able to look back at myself 6 years earlier and tell myself then that I'd be doing this now, I would have thought there's not a chance at all that I'd ever be able to do this. And I love this art. I want to do it for the rest of my life. Here we go. I'll keep you guys posted. Peace. Somehow I won both fights, a gold medal and everything. It's pretty exciting. I don't think I've ever heard Professor that excited for everybody collectively the way that he was today. If anybody is unsure if they can do it, you can. Today, win or lose, everybody won, you know? We all won. Everybody that competed won. Everybody that got a stripe or a belt won, and everybody that put their shoes on and showed up into the academy won today. So I don't really know what to say other than I never thought I'd be filming this type of update. Truthfully, this morning when I was stepping foot on the mat, I thought I was gonna throw up. I haven't thrown up in a very long time, which is a whole nother story, but I literally was on the mat and I was watching how they went right into it, and they were like, okay, all right, this person and this person, go. And I watched the first fight and I'm like, oh my God, it's happening. I'm either next or right after that. And I remembered what my plan was, and I said, I'm gonna execute it. I just visualized executing it. So the first fight, the guy that I was fighting was very strong, and when he shot the double leg, I sprawled. I was able to control his head and his neck, and then get him into my close guard. I should have gone arms in front of his shoulders, but I went arms in back of his shoulders. I just remembered, shoot the triangle. You know what you're doing here. So I broke his posture, I moved his arms, and I shot, and I bit, and it worked. And then the next fight was a double leg attempt from my competitor, and I just went right in for the guillotine and locked it in a few seconds. The moral of the story of like what I'm telling you is that both these fights could have gone either way, right? Like one mistake, one missed opportunity, one moment where you think you're in control, but you're really not. Your technique isn't right. Like this could have been a completely different story. And I think that that's the way that I like to look at it. It's like, I'm happy, I'm excited that I won, and it's a really big deal for me because I never thought I'd put myself in a situation like this before. But at the end of the day, the win or the loss or the stripe isn't as important as showing up and just focusing on your growth each day. So thank you guys. This is exciting. 2 years ago when I stepped foot on the mat, I never thought that I would compete a day in my life. I'm like, no way. I'm just a hobbyist. And now I'm actually considering signing up for some real tournaments. So take care, guys. Have a good one.